It is like the non-striker,
121.
the batsman calling for a single and the non-striker said, "No boundary mark." The non-striker, no boundary mark.
India is just one shot of majority.
One shot of majority. One shot of halfway mark. One shot of halfway mark.
Now it is.
One shot. Now 122. The NDA at the halfway mark. There you go. The cycle of the NDA with the Litti Choka coming all the way and swinging right under the halfway mark. That's where it is. NDA and the Mahagathbandhan and the INDIA left far behind. The NDA 122, 2 out of the 3 leads this morning are going the NDA's way. There you go. And as it goes past right at 122, and we'll see whether or not the next lead takes it past the post and gets it past the post. That's where it is. Right at the halfway mark is the NDA. The special Litti Choka this morning is going their way. 63 leads, half 50%. 2 out of the 3 leads have gone to the NDA. This looks like a runaway victory, sir. अभी तो 200 सीट का भी लीड नहीं आया है. 190 पर पहुंच रहे हैं.
See, I think like what India Alliance did in terms of SIR Yatra, I think that was fine, because what it did, it actually mobilizes your cadres. So, but you had to build on from there. The problem is that the two partners sort of like campaign on very different narrative.
Correct.
Congress never left the SIR narrative, and by the sort of like campaign started, RJD and Tejashwi Yadav wanted a very different kind of narrative. So campaign didn't look cohesive for the India Alliance as it did for NDA.
So the NDA has now crossed the halfway mark. It's at 124. 124. Big leads as far as the JDU is concerned. The BJP, JDU neck and neck. BJP is down 19 from last time. They had 75. The JDU at 53, already plus 10 seats. The LJP, RLM and the HAM are pulling their weight. There are 16 seats between the 3 smaller parties. But it's the JDU, BJP story all the way, and in particular the JDU story, because they are gaining 10 seats from last time. As far as the RJD India Alliance is concerned, again, the bulk of the heavy hitting is being done by the RJD. It too is getting from different parts of the state, from the southern part of the state. They should have done better. They did better in the southern part, south of Magad last time around. They haven't this time around. We're also awaiting more results from that part. But they're also opening up in the central part of the state. You would expect them to do well in Simanchal. But look at the differential between the senior partner and the junior partner. 45 to the RJD. That's down 30. Last time he had 75. In fact, when there is on result day, they were the single largest party. They're down 30 from last time. The Congress at 19. They're down 9 from last time, leading only in 10. And the left parties between them have 10 seats. The VIP has opened its account in 1 seat. So right now we're looking at 124 to 68.
Right from day one, and never said this out loud, I'm saying it, the results may be irrespective of what the results are, was always of the opinion that in Bihar, Tejashwi should fight alone. Tejashwi should fight with some of the smaller local Bihar groups and then keep it open to tie up with the Congress once the results are settled. Perhaps the traction and perhaps the turnout for and the strike rate of the RJD would have gone up far greater had they fought in more number of seats and done better rather than ally with the Congress. Yeah.
Trends forward, the point which Rahul made about the campaign of the India Alliance not being cohesive, going together. On the other hand, if you look at the NDA campaign, though the JDU and BJP campaign were distinctive in their own ways, they were not pulling in opposite directions. The JDU focused on Nitish's government, the BJP focused on their central leadership and their governments in other states. So, in a sense, that complemented each other and did not lead to the challenges which you are seeing in the case of the India Alliance.
Yes,
so I think there's also a story here to follow, continuing this discussion, that AIMIM, like the narrative that was built, that it's a B team of the BJP, I think that has worked. And then also the credit that was Congress, that they have consistently hyper-focused on minority issues and internationalized some of those issues. So I do think that that little shift has happened, although it does establish a 20-something% base, voter base for them. The rest of it has
even region-wise, look at where the Congress has opened its account. 6 out of the 9 leads that they have right now are all in Simanchal. And you would imagine that that's that's the case, and that is how it's plotting itself on the map. But I think the problem...
That's what happened in Delhi Assembly also, if you remember.
The AIMIM voter, or those who the Muslim votes that did not want to vote for the BJP or the NDA, earlier gravitated to the AIMIM, now seem to have gone to the Congress, because the last time those AIM candidates immediately after elections defected into and joined the RJD. So they said कि अरे यही करने वाला तो उसी को दे दें. साकेत मिश्रा जी, गुड मॉर्निंग.
मॉर्निंग.
ये तो बिहार आपके बगल में ही है, आपके जहाँ से आप आते हैं, ईस्टर्न यूपी. थोड़ा सा दूर, ज्यादा नहीं. हवा उधर से. पर आपको क्या लग रहा है, हवा कैसे चल रही है?
हवा अच्छी चल रही है. I mean, it's a basic contradiction. I mean, when I stepping away from all the detailed discussions, I think one side there's a party that, to whatever extent, is believable in terms of what they want to do, the NDA, and they have a coherent program. The other side, you have a bunch of contradictory guys who actually do not have a common program, common ideology, except hate Modi. And that eventually cannot be a reason for governance. And Tejashwi, I suppose, has lost his value. So, you can have a chat GPT employment program, but without thinking, it doesn't really work.
So let me ask you this. The last time around, the NDA and the BJP had an attack dog in Chirag Paswan who was attacking Nitish. This time around, there was nobody like that. Why the recalibration? And it was all Nitish all the way. Why?
Because I think everybody realized that he is, in the circumstances, the best leader there is, and has the maturity to run the government and pull everybody together, and is performing, I would say, better than most chief ministers in the recent past in Bihar.
Now with 200 leads, the NDA is at 130, better, 5 more than what they had the last time around. With 43 leads more to come, can the NDA cross the 160 mark now in terms of leads? If these trends, if these leads hold, is the 160 looking possible?
Yes, it is looking possible, provided the numbers that are coming from the ground are actually correct, right?
Yeah.
Like if
the EVM countings have become, these are ballots. Now the counting centers, what they are reporting, these leads, moment it comes to 243, you will see more or less settling. Over the course of the next hour and a half, you will see the leads largely settling.
I think after an hour, things will become far more clear. Of course, India seems to have an advantage.
No, because 2 out of 3 leads, for that to be reversed looks nearly impossible, although anything can happen with respect to Bihar. I would still hedge that and say that. But in this case, if 130 out of 200 leads, 201 out of 42 seats more to be declared, is 160 for the NDA looking possible?
It is looking possible, but personally, I can tell you that even if they get 125 seats, it doesn't make a difference beyond a point. A miss is as good as a mile. You get 1 or 2 seats over the halfway mark. You're forming the government.
But does it matter if JDU is higher than the BJP?
That will matter on the ground, because it'll show that a lot of things that we have been talking about in terms of the public discourse and among the people in that state, it has translated in terms of sentiment. Everybody says that the Bihar election is about arithmetic. I thought that this time it was very, very sentiment driven.
It was sentiment
driven.
For 2 reasons. Last time the BJP became much larger than JDU. So there was this whole thing that this is Nitish Kumar's last election, he's wiped out, all of that. Also that he could be removed as chief minister at a later point. If he's far bigger, then it in Bihar, but also for national politics. Because Nitish Kumar's importance for national politics becomes far more important. He becomes as powerful as Chandrababu Naidu.
Within the central
government. Right now the breakup is BJP is leading in 59, the JDU in 54, but the JDU is up 11 from last time. The JDU won just 43 because 30 odd seats, the LJP factor hurt the JDU, so the JDU has picked up. The LJP did not have any seats last time. It's leading in 9, RLM in 5, and the Harm in 3. So that's 17 seats just within the 3 smaller parties. But it's really the story of these two, the bigger partners who are pulling their weight, and they are really.
The BJP is showing minus 15 because there are still about 40 leads to come. So they may make up and they may still emerge as the single largest party within the NDA. Maybe 2 or 3 seats ahead of the JDU, or maybe 2 or 3 seats behind the JDU.
Number is for compared to last time number. It's not about whether they're gaining.
Also, BJP is fighting less seats this time.
Yeah, it's fighting much lesser seats.
If BJP and JDU are going to have similar numbers, then RJD cannot mathematically have number closer them. So then, in case the fight is going to be between JDU and BJP.